Hey there, YouTube. I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. It is a humid hump day here in South Alabama when I'm shooting this. I think the last video I was talking about how pleasant the weather was, and all of a sudden in 2 days that humidity has gone up. Anyhow, today I'm here to talk about my weekly shopping list for my mostly raw food diet. Guys, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'd appreciate it if you go down and hit that big red subscribe button right now. Then be sure you click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. I get asked about this stuff all the time, you know, my weekly shopping list. What do I buy on a weekly basis? How much money do I spend? And up until now, this is after 8 years on this lifestyle, 7 years doing these videos. This is actually the first time I've been able to kind of narrow it down, because you know, when I was in Costa Rica, I lived in the land of abundance. I mean, you know, I shopped every day. And a lot of times I went to 3 or 4 stores during the day just in my normal routine to see what was fresh, what was up. And even, you know, up until like a few months ago, where things kind of, you know, we kind of got locked down, I stopped going to the grocery store like I used to, because even here in the States, I pretty much, you know, now sometimes it was just to get out of the house, but I went to the store every day. So I was constantly buying stuff. So when people would say, well, what does your weekly shopping list look like, or how much are you spending per week? I'm like, well, I don't know, because I'm constantly just got some of this today, got some of this tomorrow, and, you know, but now, for the last couple of months, I've been shopping like once a week, and sometimes I can stretch that out, especially depending on bananas, to sometimes 8 or 9 days. And I find as I do it more and more, I kind of get a little bit better at it, and I could probably even make it last a little bit longer. Although I got in a banana glut this week, I haven't had bananas. I had no bananas yesterday, and I think I've got some bananas ripe for a smoothie today. But okay, always on the list. Let me start with the obvious on the list. Got some over here right now. Is bananas. You know that. You've seen me. I go through a lot of bananas. Now, I probably, and like again, this is an estimation, a guesstimation. I'm figuring that I probably buy upwards of 120 bananas a week. Or I don't know, like I say, I consume so many bananas, that's kind of hard to say, and I never completely run out. I try to keep a flow going, but I was trying to push it and see how long I could go without going to the grocery store, and I cut myself a little close this time. So I usually get myself about 120 plus bananas. I'm always talking about the greens. Every week when I go to the store, I get 3 of these big bags of kale, 16-ounce bags of kale. I get 3 of these. I don't have one right now because I've already used the one this week. I get a big bag of spinach, and I usually get a 32-ounce bag of spinach. I usually get a big bag of collard greens. I usually get like a 36-ounce bag of collard greens. And the collard greens, like I say, that's why this is mostly raw. The collard greens I usually steam. Let's see, what else? I get these big heads of romaine lettuce just at Walmart. This is the best I can get, and it's not bad. I usually get 4 of these. Yeah, I don't have a salad every day. I have, you know, like I say, I've kind of just figured that out, you know, about 4 salads a week. And some weeks, if I run out a little early, some weeks I might get 5, but usually it is 4 like that. And sweet potatoes. Now, for you raw is law people, that'll be no interest to you, but that is what I supplement with to keep my weight up, and they've come in handy. I ate a big old sweet potato meal today. That's my go-to, especially, and that's a real go-to for me when I don't have bananas. I just had a whole bunch of sweet potatoes for lunch today, but I don't know. I would say I usually get about 8 to 10 sweet potatoes, and then I get, but I don't always go through the other ones. I get 8 to 10 sweet potatoes every week, and maybe every other week I buy a 3-pound bag of the little red potatoes, just have something different around the house. This week has been, I'd hate to pull something trying to lift this beast up, is watermelon. And yes, it is seeded, for God's sake. The seed religion people out there, that's all they ever think about with the watermelon. Is it seeded? Is it seeded? I can't get seeded. Jesus Christ, just enjoy your watermelon, people. But this week, now this is, I'm going to kind of throw this in. This is like, it's kind of a bonus. It's not a necessity for me, but it is a necessity in the summer, especially here. But it does raise my weekly grocery bill up a little bit, but I don't care. I'm going to do that. I got 3 of these bad boys this week. They were, and I'll tell you, I'm very pleased with my little curb market in town. There's a little curb market, and since I've been back in the States in this particular town, that curb market's gone through like 4 different owners. I think the guy that's in there now, he's a go-getter, and he works his own store, and he's good. He knows how to get good produce. I'm getting these melons right now for $7.50 a piece, and I was getting these particular ones for the last 2 weeks, and we're not even into our real watermelon season yet, and these are good and sweet. Been making watermelon juice almost every morning. Now, what would I have non-pandemic if I was going down to Pensacola on a regular basis, or even if I was getting to Walmart more on a regular basis? There would be more mangoes included in there. Back before, like I say, before things kind of got screwy and, not going to the store all the time, I would usually buy 2 boxes of mangoes every couple of weeks. But as we get into further into the summer, they have little small Atolfo mangoes for 50 cents at our Walmart. And they're not as good as the ones that I get at the Asian market, even though they're both Atolfo mangoes. They're not as good as the ones that I get at the Asian market, but they're not bad. And for 50 cents, especially, I'll use those all day long, like in a salad dressing recipe. Like my favorite, which I haven't had in ages. Now I got a craving for that, is, and I'll throw you a little recipe out here too, is mango, red pepper, smoked paprika, splash of Bragg's, and then you can doctor it up from there with other stuff. Sometimes when I want a little creaminess to it and a little bit of fat in there, I'll put a little tahini in there. But normally I would have mangoes, and probably I think this next week when I go shopping at Walmart, I am going to pick up some mangoes. And probably it has been 3 weeks since I've been to Pensacola. I'm saying about another week. I think I'm probably going to go to Pensacola next week, and this time I will go to the Asian market. I haven't gone to the Asian market the last couple of times, but I'll go and pick up some of that. So, and blueberries. I got a nice little stash of blueberries in my fridge right now. And these are local blueberries. And hopefully I'll be able to get my hands on more of them this year, because they canceled the blueberry festival that they normally have in our little town, and when they have that blueberry festival, they just get bought up right there. So getting some blueberries. So now for the tally. And like I say, this is just me doing the best I can, because every time I go to Walmart, I started looking at my receipts and I said, okay, let me figure out how much I'm spending per week. And I've done it I've been aware of it a few weeks, so I could I think I had this video in the back of my head. And I'm going to say $100, more or less. And that's a guesstimation. It could be a little bit less. It could be a little bit more. But I figured it out to be about $100, because every time I go to Walmart, I end up getting other stuff. I'm taking care of, I've been taking care of these 2 stray cats, and the mother, I think I've mentioned it on here, the mother had kittens. So I've been feeding all of them. So each week, I have to take that out. That's not my food. That's not what I'm eating. So I have to take the cat food out of there. I have to take, there's always something else I need to get out. If I'll buy some toilet paper this week, some liquid Drano this week, whatever like that. I tried to back that out of it. So I add up my Walmart, and then I add up what I get at the curb market here in town, and I'm figuring about $100. Now, if I'm adding these watermelons in here, that might be a little bit more this week, because this is the first time, I've gone heavier on the watermelons and bought 3 of them. So I'm thinking probably this week I spent $125. But one thing I've learned from all of this is when I'm making a list and I'm shopping once a week, I'm more efficient with my food. I think at some point when everything gets back to normal and I could go to the store every day if I wanted to, I think I will still keep this in play to a certain extent. I think I'll probably have a big once a week shopping trip, but then maybe during the week I'll just pop up, maybe once during the week, just kind of for a supplemental trip, just to pick up a few little goodies here and there. That's kind of what I did. If you flash back like 4 years when I was living on that mountain that last year in Costa Rica, that's what I would do then. I'd go to the farmer's market on Saturday morning, get a big haul, and then usually by Wednesday of the following week, I'd go into town and pick up a few things. So I know this is not going to probably help a lot of people because, to be honest, you got to kind of just take things I say and figure it out in your own version, because I don't see a whole lot of people eating like me. Somebody made a comment recently, and it was a nice compliment, but it was just not a compliment, but a comment. It wasn't negative at all, but they were just like, man, you just eat the same things over and over and over and over. Like I say, I kind of did that back when I was on a standard American diet as well. And just, like I say, some of the things that I eat are just for my nutrition. Like my smoothie, probably nobody else is going to necessarily get into my particular green smoothie, but it's mine. So just a rough idea there of what I'm shopping for and how much I'm spending. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you again in a couple of days. Peace.